Did you know the reason you're not losing weight and building muscle is because your chicken, rice, and broccoli isn't plain and boring enough? That's right. Contrary to popular belief, you have to be even more miserable to see the results that you want.
Wrong. Wrong.
Actually, the reason you're not losing weight and building muscle is because you're eating things like chicken, rice, and broccoli. Now, don't get me wrong, there is absolutely nothing wrong with chicken, rice, and broccoli. The real problem is that you're eating those things, but by Thursday night, you're already all burnt out. And to make matters worse, chicken, rice, and broccoli is hailed as the ultimate weight loss and muscle building diet. Am I right?
I was eating so much chicken breast. 5 chicken breasts a day. So a lot of vegetables.
Brown rice, grilled chicken, broccoli.
Training constantly, eating just chicken breast, broccoli, and that is it.
Yeah.
There's nothing really special about chicken, rice, and broccoli. It really comes down to the underlying execution of the macros in that particular meal. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to apply that same execution into one of the greatest and tastiest foods ever made. Nope, that's not it. Yep, that's right, street tacos. Now, if anyone really knows about street tacos, it's this guy. You could say that tacos are to me the same thing that honey is to Winnie the Pooh, but healthier. All right, so let's go and make some really tasty and optimal and healthy street tacos. The very first thing that we look at is the protein. Now, I know you're smart, which is why you're watching my channel in the first place. So I know that you know protein is used for muscle building, but it can also help you stay full, and it can also help you lose fat at a little bit of a faster rate. So what makes a chicken breast special in this particular dish is that it's lean. Chicken breast, it's not a fatty cut like thighs, drumsticks, or it's not deep fried. So we have to mimic that same execution. For this video, I'm gonna be using bottom round beef stir fry. You can use other lean proteins like shrimp, lean ground beef, pork, or even shredded chicken. This is probably the most important part of the equation. You have to make sure that you use a lean cut of protein and not a fatty one. If you do a fattier protein like brisket, pulled pork, regular ground beef, fattier chicken, or if you're cooking with too much oil, then it's going to be counterproductive because of the extra calories. Unless, of course, you're doing keto or low carb. But in such case, you have to use a different kind of tortilla or not use a tortilla at all. Anywho, instead of using 7 ounces of lean chicken breast, I'm gonna be using 6 ounces of beef bottom round stir fry. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. Not really. I'm not sure why rice has gotten a reputation as the ultimate muscle building carb. Maybe it's because it has a high glycemic score. Don't get me wrong, rice is awesome. Just like a tortilla, it's very easy to prepare. I actually use rice a few times a week, and so can you. The problem is it can get monotonous if you're just having plain white rice. You can also use other carb sources. You simply have to swap out the amount to the same value of each carb. For this case, here's what I mean. Half a cup of rice is going to equal 3 tortillas, which is the same as 25 grams of carbs. 1 cup of rice is going to equal 5 tortillas, which is going to be about 50 grams of carbs. You can get the same nutrients with other veggies. The main purpose of the broccoli is to serve as bulk, which is gonna help you stay full. With the tacos, we're gonna be using another source of bulk. In this case, we're gonna be using salsa. And if you're wondering if you can have salsa, you absolutely can, because salsa essentially is just blended vegetables. For the tacos, here's what we're gonna be using: black pepper, cumin, some cilantro, garlic salt, lemon juice, and we're gonna be using onion, chopped onion, to add more flavor. So again, we're just adding more bulk with more vegetable. This is just as easy, if not easy, to put together than chicken and rice. and it's actually great for leftovers. So like for example, in this case, I'm gonna be using a full pound of beef bottom round stir fry, and I'm only gonna be using about half when it's cooked, which is gonna be equal to about 6 ounces. The very first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna chop up your beef bottom round, and you're gonna put it in a Ziploc bag. You're gonna add some of the spices, some of the condiments, you're gonna add some of the lemon juice, just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, and we're gonna let it marinate for a minimum of 1 hour. This is gonna give it that extra flavor. Then we're gonna heat up the tortillas in a flat skillet, and this is really cool because you have the control if you want a crunchy or if you want a soft taco. And meanwhile, the beef is gonna be cooking. Make sure that you use cooking spray or that you use a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Again, you don't wanna be draining your meat in too much oil because it's gonna be extra calories. Once the two things are ready, we're just gonna be putting the two things together. At this point, we're just putting the meat into the tortillas. So we're gonna be repeating that process with the 5 tacos. In this case, it's gonna be 50 grams of carb. And like I said, this is very easy to prepare in bulk because you can simply, if you're cooking 1 pound of meat, you can just save the other half for leftovers for later that night or for the next day. And yeah, so that's gonna give you leftovers. And pretty much at this point, we're just, decorating the tacos. We're gonna be adding salsa. Now, this is a homemade salsa, special homemade salsa that was made by my dad, so special props to him. But you can pretty much use any salsa. Like I said, at the end of the day, salsa is just blended vegetables. So you can buy a homemade, you could just buy a store-bought salsa and then use that and put it in there. And you could use a total of 3 to 4 tablespoons, and that's going to be essentially what's going to be replacing the broccoli bulk, which is going to help you stay full. Once we do that, we're just going to add onion. You can add as much onion as you can, then you add cilantro, and then what's going to add the extra flavor, it's going to be that lemon juice. So again, you just add the chopped onion, cilantro, salsa, lime juice, and boom. All right, so hopefully you guys liked that video. If you did, if you got something out of it, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel because I have more videos like this coming up in the future. And let me remind you that if you're dieting to lose weight, or that if you're trying to tone, you're trying to build muscle, you're trying to change your body composition, if you're dieting, you're doing things wrong. It's all about habits. So if you want to learn the secret habits that will teach you how to get to your goal, make sure that you stay tuned to the channel because I'm going to be showing you exactly what those habits are, and I will see you in the next one.